G'day, I'm Sam from Rosnay Organic Wines, and this little movie is to show you how we do the Biodynamic 500 and compost concentrate spraying onto our vineyard. This is the tank where we put the 500 and the manure concentrate. It circulates pumped up here into the top flow form, which is a bowl which has a vortex action as the water descends. The water then comes down through the bottom of the flow forms back into the pond. I'll now turn. So the water goes down through the flow forms in a figure 8 motion, immediately taking that rhythmic form of vortex. It goes left and then right, left and then right. Now the concept here is that we're energising the water, oxygenating it. This pump has been going all day, so this water has actually already been very oxygenated and rhythmically stirred. It's imitation of a water flowing through a stream, basically, and the same thing happens down here. It's the reason we've put these rocks here in the drain that the water flows down to imitate the natural type of massage that occurs in a stream. This is where we store the 500. It looks a little bit basic, but you can see that we've got the 500 itself in a terracotta pot, surrounded by peat moss, which acts as an insulator and maintains moisture in there. I actually have this buried in gravel, or half underground, and then I can actually carry the whole thing down here. And inside here is the 500. So this is the cow horn manure, the manure that's been buried in the cow horn for 6 months over the winter. It's a very strong microbial and life-enhancing substance. It's purchased from the Biodynamic Association, Biodynamic Agriculture Australia. Now, the amount that you need per hectare or per acre is only basically about a golf ball, and so that will probably do about an acre. So in this pot here, we've probably got enough to do. We have actually got enough to do 30 hectares, or about 60 acres. So, or 75 acres, yeah. So I'm going to start putting this into the water now, and basically do it this way so that we can dissolve it in the water. You can also just stir it into a bucket, but I think it's nice to actually I use 2 hands normally, break it up and dissolve it into the water this way. Using 2 hands, it's a lot easier. And by the time we finish doing this to the amount that we need for this tank of mix, the water will be a tea colour. The other thing that we're going to be putting into here is what we call manure concentrate, which contains the other biodynamic preparations. So that's stored in this bucket here, and it's different. It's been prepared in a different way, as you can see from the colour of it. Now this has actually been digested by worms, and that's what makes it different. The 500 hasn't been digested by worms. It's been buried underground for 6 months in a worm-proof container, whereas the worms are encouraged in this. Now the difference is this contains all the biodynamic herbal preparations, which are also very important for balancing the soil. So we're going to put some of this in there as well. It's a bit more than the 500, and you actually put it in it later in the stirring, because we'll actually be stirring this for a whole hour. So there we have it. I've just mixed the 500 corn manure into here. I just had it in this bucket, and I'll put most of it in. And as you can see, it's quite like a tea colour. And when I've finished putting the manure concentrate in there, it's going to be quite dark, like a coffee. And it might not look like there was much going into that water, but the fact that it's very rich in microbes and it's in oxygenated, energised water means we're actually carrying quite a lot of good stuff with this water. And now we just leave it to stir for an hour and enjoy the beautiful end of the day. It's the what's the date? The 18th of June 2009, which is a descending moon heading towards a new moon, and it's a moon in Taurus, which is a earth sign, which is the best time of year for time of the month for spraying a soil enhancing spray, and that's what we're doing today. And here, this is the rig that we use for spraying. It's the Suzuki Ute and a 600 litre tank, which basically takes all that water in the pond, all the mix. A Honda motor with a Hardy 600 pump, very reliable, good capacity, flow rate. We don't want to pump at high pressure. It's one of the things about using these micro sprays is that you try to work on low pressure, less than 20 psi. We've got a solenoid switch on there which we can operate from the cab, which has been a major improvement. And up here the booms, which used to be folding back automatically with a elastic band, we've actually given that away. We've got a narrower pattern, but we just drive a bit faster and cover more ground that way. And there's the nozzle, and that's a coarse nozzle with large holes so that we get large droplet size, and we'll have a look at that when it's running. So now I'll put the manure concentrate in. Okay, so the manure concentrate is now mixed into the water, and you can see it looks like a coffee colour now, and it's quite rich, enriched with the stuff. And that'll stir now for about another half an hour before we go and spray it out. The water in the pond starting to foam up and really get brewing. While we're waiting, we'll have a look at the cow horns and sort of have a think about what they're for. We've got a lot to answer for. We put the manure in here mainly because it's a natural receptacle, and it's it's part of a very special animal, which is the cow, whose manure is one of the best types of manure for stimulating calcium in the soil and soil life. And I guess that's the reason Rudolf Steiner chose it, using his intuition to say, use that part of the animal which produces the best manure. And why not anyway? It's a natural receptacle. So these are a couple of horns that we used a couple of years ago, but this time we're actually using some purchased 500. You can't do everything every year, but we'll do our best. Just zooming in for a view of the vineyard that I'm going to be out there spraying very soon. The original block was planted 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Gum trees in between the different blocks. Going right up to the hilltop there. More of a nature strip there. And some of the sheep out there grazing in the vineyard now. Won't be able to spray that block. And there's our house up on the hill. Neighbour's shed. There's quite a few different people living here now. Figs in the foreground. They're a bit of a trial crop. Okay, it's been an hour. Sunset. Beautiful time of day. And we're now ready to pump the 500 into the tank on the back of the ute. Got the hose in there and the filter sock, which filters all the particles out so they don't block the nozzles. I'll just open this tap here and half close this tap, and we're filling. So there is the 500 coming out of the two nozzles. They'll do about 4 rows of the vineyard.
This is top Shiraz! Top Shiraz, mate, top Shiraz.
15 k's an hour, 4 rows at a time. Preparation 500 going out.